Sprite Castle, Sprite Castle, Sprite Castle,
Mr. Rob O'Hara.
Sprite Castle.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. 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 They say you can't drink a case of Monster Energy drinks in one sitting, and they were right. I had to stand up to get the last two in me. How's everybody doing this fine Wednesday evening? Hope you're doing great. I feel better than I did yesterday because yesterday I had a sleep study. Have you had a sleep study? It's wonderful. This was my third sleep study. Apparently, you're supposed to have them once every 5 years. I have heard that they have home sleep studies, but apparently my doctor has not. So I had a sleep doctor a long time ago, and he, by the way, Tintin, your email is at the top of my inbox, and I got it as we were driving on the way to go to the sleep study, which is why I have not responded yet. So I had a sleep doctor, and he set me up with the CPAP and did all that stuff, and then he died. But his brother was also a sleep doctor, and so I transferred to him as a doctor, and things were going great. And he said, "Here's your CPAP," and I said, "Awesome." And he said, "Here's all your settings, and here's all your supplies," and I said, "Great." And then I went back a few times, and every time I went back, he goes, "How's it going?" I go, "Great." He goes, "Okay, give me $30. And I go, "Why am I giving you $30? It's going great." So I said, how about this? I don't go back. That'd be great. And so I didn't go back because it's like it's why they don't pay you first. It's like they don't give you a paycheck at work and then go, "Now give us 2 weeks of work." Instead, you have to work the 2 weeks and then they pay you. If you already had the money, you wouldn't do the work. And so I already had the CPAP and the supplies and everything. So I didn't really see a need to keep paying this guy $30 twice a year. So I didn't go back because I thought it was dumb. And then what happened is I started getting low on supplies because they stopped sending me the supplies. You have no more mess, supplies. And they called me and they said, "Hey, you don't, you're out of, we're not sending any more supplies." And I said, it's cool. My doctor says it's okay. Keep sending them. And they said, "Who's your doctor?" And I told them. And I said, "Dr. Schwartz." And they said, "He's dead." And I went, "Oh no." They've called my bluff. So they did cut me off. So I had to get a new sleep doctor. And what was funny, so I've been through two sleep doctors, and they've both died. So then I had to go to a third sleep doctor, and he was like, "What brings you here?" And I'm like, "You probably don't want to know." But I said, "Before I tell you, I want to make sure you're in tip-top shape." Because what happened is I killed the other two. So he says, "Well, I won't give you anything without another sleep study." I had years and years ago, I had a very early model CPAP. I got my first CPAP in 2002. And I will tell everybody that will listen to me, it changed my life 100%. And I used to say overnight, and I still think overnight, but definitely within the week. It changed my life. I was falling asleep at work. I was falling asleep on the drive home. I was falling asleep constantly. And like one day after I got the CPAP, I was like, "Oh, this is what normal feels like." I forgot. But I had this super old CPAP that for those of you that don't have a CPAP or know someone with one, there's a motor compartment, but there's also a humidifier that warms the air because it can dry out your nose and your nasal passages. And mine was so early that it was two different parts. There was like the CPAP was a big giant thing, and then there was like a separate hot plate that you put a thing. It looked like a Bunsen burner, and you put water in that, and there was a hose that went off that to the CPAP, and then the second hose that went to my face. And I went on a trip one time for work, and I forgot the hose, and I was screwed. And so I started calling these places, and they were like, you have to be a medical professional to buy that hose. I was like, that's stupid. That they would not sell me the hose that went from point A to point B. And I'd got into town late enough where the next day I was going to go to Home Depot, and my wife ended up overnighting me the hose from home, and it got there the next day, and then we charged it to work. So it all worked out. Yeah. So anyway, to wrap up this story, your CPAP, the actual CPAP, is only good for X amount of hours, and it will work past that time. But every time you turn it on, my CPAP now says you are past the expected life expectancy of this device. You need to get it replaced. So that's what I'm afraid of, is that it's going to die. Now, I do know at least two people who have bought CPAPs off of Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. When you turn a CPAP on, you can go into a thing and it'll tell you how many hours it's been used. So if someone says, hey, this has barely been used, and then it has a lot of hours, I wouldn't buy it. But you can Google and find how to change the settings on a CPAP. So you can buy one. I'm not recommending this. I'm just saying it's possible. I'm also saying I'm related to two different people who've done this. And you could buy one on Facebook Marketplace and then go into your CPAP and get the settings, and then go into the new CPAP and configure it being the same thing. I don't know that there's custom firmwares, but I'll tell you what there is on my CPAP. Now, my CPAP is old enough where, welcome to CPAP Talk with Jack Flack. My CPAP is old enough that it has an SD card in it. Now, apparently the newer ones use some sort of Bluetooth app that syncs with your phone and sends the information to your doctors. But CPAPs are pretty expensive equipment, and so they don't want to give you one and then replace it if you're not using it. So the SD card is your proof, right? So you take the SD card in, and they put it in the SD card reader, and they can look at the data. Well, there is open source data reader. So you can, it's just XML, and you can download this app and put the SD card in your own computer, and it'll show you all these graphs. It'll show you how many hours a night you use it, and you know, how many events you're having. And so it gives you a lot of information data if you're into, I don't go this far, but I don't even know. I wouldn't loop it in with this. I was going to say self-body hacking. It's not really quite that, but it is interesting to see. And also, not going to admit to this, but CPAPs are kind of dependent on your weight, the settings. So if you gain weight or lose weight, you're supposed to go to the doctor and possibly even have another sleep study, and they will adjust it. But if you're a moron, you could just log into the thing and turn the settings up a little bit. Not saying that ever happened, but might have. So anyway, the last two times I had to go to the sleep doctor and I had to go to the sleep lab. And both times I took my little SD card, and at both places they said, that is such an old machine. We don't even have SD card readers anymore. We don't do that anymore. So I went, So apparently my CPAP is older than I thought it was. By the way, I did look online, and I have a ResMed S6, but they made that model for a long time. So it's not like saying I got a 72 Honda and you go, oh, it's that old. It's like And they started making the ResMed S6 in 2000, and they made it up until like 5 years ago. So there's a long history of ResMed S6s. But it did say that it should be good for up to 5 years of service. And we looked up the model number of mine, and mine was made in 2006. So mine is 17 years old. So I should have taken it in long time ago. Yeah, so Drazoo, it's good to see you. I owe you an email too about something else. I should be making notes, all my notes. It's like my little personal, I need my personal assistant. I need a name, and then I was going to say, I was like, oh, Susan, but then I thought my wife would not do that, and she's not here. So, oh, James, write that down. Email Tintin and email Drazoo. And then I go, Tintin says he needs a random Rob where I reveal the coded message. So I recently did a rando Rob where I talked about eCoder Ring. You know what? At the end of the show, I can show you eCoder Ring if you haven't seen that. It's a app that I created a long time ago, and it turned out to be a fun little encryption app. That's what we'll do. We will do that we'll do an hour and a half of what we're doing tonight, and then at the end of that, we will move into that. By the way, hey, let's do a little bit of show and tell real quick. I'll show you what I bought that came in the mail today. This, we'll see if anybody can guess what that is quickly. This is a Retroid 3 Plus. So this is the newest model of the Retroid. Yes, it does have an iPhone screen. I have never... I don't know that much about the Retroid. I turned it on today. This is a, let's call it an open source. Well, it's Android device that also is an emulator. It's an handheld emulator, more or less. So I just started playing with it, and it does have HDMI out. If I want to hook it up to a TV, it has audio out. It has a spot for another SD card. So maybe next month, the Patreon funds come rolling in. I might buy a big SD card. Has most of the controls, D-pad. It's got analog sticks. It's got your R1, 2 triggers up here and stuff. This, when I watched the demos, I watched people playing PSP games on this. I watched them playing PlayStation 2 games. What else on here? Wii. Now, apparently there's some, it doesn't play Wii 100%. It does play GameCube and, like I said, PSP, Dreamcast, all that stuff. Yeah, this one does have the touch screen because it's basically iPhone. That's what I read, that they are new old stock iPhone screens. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, so I'll be doing a review of this at some point in time. And giving this thing, running it through its paces. It does have a lot of, it has the Amiga and it runs anything, up to a certain point. So it would do Amiga and C64 and Atari ST and the computers, that I'm interested in. But I don't know, I guess you would hook up a USB keyboard to do that. So here's the thing, Tintin. These are $149.95, but you can't really buy it for that. So the company sells them for $150, but they sell them from China for $150. So you can only get them from retailers here who mark them up like crazy. So the going price is anywhere from $250 to $280, but so there are a few sellers. So on Amazon, they're like $250 is what people are reselling them for, which is highway robbery, right? And the problem is, if you order it for $250 or $150 from China, first of all, it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to get here, and you're always taking a risk when you're buying not knockoff, but you know what I mean, like low production Chinese hardware. Like, it's probably not going to have great build standards. So if you get a scratch screen or a button that doesn't work, now you're putting it on a boat to China and sending it back and trying to do that. So if you do get it through Amazon, you are going to pay a premium, but you also can return it if something's wrong with it. Now, what I found out is that there are some sellers also selling them on eBay. And so I found one with free shipping that was listed for $220 on eBay and also had make an offer. And I did the make an offer for $200, and that included shipping. So I don't know if the $150 from China includes the shipping. I figure I paid probably $20 to $30 over retail once you figure in shipping. And eBay also has their eBay refund guarantee and stuff like that. So that's I was willing to do that. So that was my mental cutoff for this thing, was $200, and I've been watching them for a few months, and then I was able to grab this one. So I feel like, I could be wrong, I feel like that's the last handheld thing I'll ever have to buy. I mean, at some point, I'm sure they'll have something that runs PS3 and all that, but I just don't play those games that much. So, through Dreamcast, through GameCube, PS2, that's really, and also I don't understand it yet, but it says it plays Steam games. I guess you would take Steam. Is there an Android Steam app or something? And then you would download your Steam games. I don't really know how it works, but, I'll be playing Atari games on it. So, I have somewhere both a DS and a GBA, the SP, the flip up clamshell one, and the one with the brighter screen, I guess the SP2. But the screen on this thing is better than those. And this plays Nintendo DS games because it has the wide screen. It can show the DS, the big screen with all the action, and then it can show a separate window with the other screen on it and being touch screen. I don't know. I'll never play it anyway. Doesn't matter. I'll play it. Okay, so last week what we did was we opened up the Sega Genesis. I'm on an arcade kick right now. I only want to play arcade games. I don't care about anything else right now, he says. I mean, that could change in 15 minutes. But so on the last week what we did, we opened up the Sega Genesis emulator. We ran through some Sega Genesis games, arcade ports on the Sega Genesis. And now I've got this stupid handheld. And I've been copying over ROMs and Game Boy and or GBA and looking at other stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go see what arcade ports are on the Game Boy Advance. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to run through and look at some Game Boy Advanced arcade ports. Now, on the Sega Genesis, several of them were not arcade quality, but they were pretty close. So that's what we're going to see here, is the Game Boy Advance able to pull off arcade games or not. Let's hop over here. And I've got the first one I want to try already loaded up here. Oh boy. All right, I think we're okay audio-wise. Crank it down just a little bit. This Game Boy Advance emulator does one of those things I love, which is every time you click off the window, it immediately pauses, which means it stops the music, it stops the game. It's super annoying. By the way, I was being sarcastic about that being things I love. Drezu, man, I relate to that so much, of how much cool stuff I have and how little time I have to do it, I mean, my... oh, it is in stereo, too. My left ear is just like... it's like a heart meter going bad. Man, I got so much like I thought like, man, I could just spend the rest of my life playing Commodore 64 games. Like I could just set up the Commodore 64 and just start going through games. And I mean, how long do I have left to live? 30 years? Maybe. You know, like I feel like, and there's what, 20,000 titles? I mean, you know, you might get stuck a whole day just playing with a database or something, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of games out there, you know. I think just with ROMs that are on my computer and music on my computer and movies that I have, I could spend the rest of my life and can't get through all this, you know. And then I buy new things, which is silly, but here we are. Okay, what do we got here? This is there were a lot of these 2-packs, not wrappers, but games. They got the 2-pack. On Gameboy Advance. And this is one. Atari released several of these. So this one has Super Sprint and Spy Hunter on the same cartridge. Someday the kids will move out. The wife will take up knitting. I'll just be sitting in here. My wife will be like, "What are you doing?" "I'm playing Super Sprint." "Don't bother me, honey." Okay, I've clicked on this. And this joystick is doing nothing. All right, let's go to, and I've tried this already. Input. Configure. We got all the joysticks, all this. I wonder if it's because I've clicked on and off and on and off and on and off. That may be. So we're just going to restart this. What kind of tomfoolery is this? All right. File. Open. Oh, open recent. All right, let's see what we get here. Midway presents. Okay. It did. Oh. Okay. I love Super Sprint. It's one of my favorite arcade games. Okay. Press start. I guess start is L1. Easy. Okay, so this is a game you play with the D-pad. And I'm going to let everybody else go so I can see who I am. I'm D, or I'm blue. Oh, boy. I'm playing in the oil up here. Well, we're going to have a little... Oh, I'm the one that blew up. We've got a little catching up to do, folks. All right, we're going to hope that some of those other people blow up. You know how in the arcade where one might slide around a corner? But these tires seem to be... Oh, first of all, my car is made of nitroglycerin. The slightest tap of a wall does seem to explode my car. I mean, that was more than a slight tap. But oh, did I blow up by hitting the wrench? That doesn't seem fair. Waka, waka, waka. That's why it's blue. I done blew it up. Boy, there's some good stereo on this. All right. Okay, we're going to try this again. We're going to try and... Oh. Oh. What happened? Oh, what? Oh. I see what track I'm on now. Oh. Well, I don't... I mean, I played a lot of Championship Sprint in my life, and I just don't remember blowing up this much. You can say that the stream is finally blowing up. Oh. Wow. Wow. Let's turn around there, buddy. Oh. 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 Come on, Blue. I'm gonna say when God created this game, He did not intend it to be played with a D-pad. That's all I can say of this. The music is similar to the arcade version. I don't feel like I need to continue, but I'm gonna do it one more time. Oh, I'm back here. I just wanted to give everybody a head start. Oh, no. I would say not two thumbs up to the guy that designed the durability of the car. So I try to put these these games in perspective, right? Like, it's not fair to, oh boy, you can't look at a Commodore 64 game and say, well, that doesn't hold up to modern games. Well, yeah, it's got 64K of RAM. Like, you gotta put it in perspective of the system and of the era, So we got to look at this game in the perspective of how much would I play this if I were riding on the school bus and this is the game I had. And I got to say I would not play it. It's making me very angry. I hope there's a Hulk game. I don't feel like... in theory, well, could you use a spinner? On the original hardware, no. Original hardware for Game Boy has a D-pad. So, now could you use a spinner with the emulator? Possible. My car is made of basically tinder and aluminum. It's just like they made a shell and then poured a shell out of gunpowder and liquid nitrogen. And then instead where you would normally put didn't make that jump, turns out. And then to strengthen the body, they just put sticks of dynamite with fuses. Jump. Woo! I made that jump. You see that? And then I blew up. I'm glad whoever actually programmed this did not also do Destruction Derby, because it would just be just a ball of fire. The whole thing would just be fire. It just doesn't take that much to blow this car up. I'm gonna say there's two games though, so let's not write off the cartridge because it could be that that the real takeaway is Spy Hunter. Hey, Texas, what's going on? Okay, how is it? There's got to be a way to get back to. I mean, if you had an actual Game Boy. There we go. Let's try the other one on this. This is the old text for playing some arcade ports on the old Game Boy Advance tonight. Oh, Super Mario. It's a me, Mario. I don't feel like my Mario impersonation is any better or any worse than anyone else's. I don't feel like. Oh, is that high? Okay? So forward and backward shift low high. One button is accelerate. The other button is fire. Are you going to one of these chains, like a big chain that has like a bar and one of those places where you could get movies and, or not movies, get food and sit down in a thing like that? I'll tell you what, it's there's Flick's Brew. Yep, we got one of those here. I haven't been to it yet, but we have one. I saw it. It's in a ours is in a part of town. Oh, geez, Louise. Ours is in a part of town where like there's nothing else that I would ever go there for. It's not a bad part of town. It's just like this industrial kind of area. And I only see it when I'm driving by on the interstate. So I would, it's like not a place. I mean, it's not like near something and I go, hey, I'm in the area. There's that thing. It's just, I always see it when I'm going somewhere else. And then I always forget to go there. I do seem to be in a large area of nothing. I just shot a random motorcyclist for no reason. Sorry, pal. But I do like the fact that oh boy. I feel like I went for a long time for Spy Hunter 9870 though. I feel like I could probably do better than that. All right. So that went well. That was exactly what I meant to do. By the way, it's not like it just seems like you could shift into high immediately. You don't have to. What happened to that? I just ran that guy off the road. You don't run me off the road, I'll run you off the road, pal. What in the world? This car isn't quite as fragile. It's hard to steer, merging. It's not quite as fragile as the car from the last game, but it's up there. Okay, still. Wow, it is pretty unforgiving when it comes to collisions. Let's get away from that dude. Let's get on the road. We're gonna go left this time. We went right, and then we seemed to end up at a. Did I miss? I must have missed what blew me up that time. Okay, this is like the Spy Hunter food desert. Good night. Is there a Wendy's around here? Burger King? No, there's just death. Fire and death. That's what's around here. Well, I'll take one. Oh, good. That's what you got. I feel like, no, I mean, whoa, well, hello, friend. Hello, tire cutter, my old friend. Time to cut my tires once again. Because my little white car is acting up. Those trees made my car effed up. No, get away. Get away. Get away. All right. Fast, slow. This car does it all. I don't know if that's. I guess that's not music. I guess that's just engine noise. It's just kind of a blah, 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 blah. Oh. Yeah. I think it would have been tougher to. Oh boy. I don't feel like when I collide with a motorcyclist, I don't feel like I should be the one who dies. And that's not judgment. That's just physics. Okay. All right. We made it right to the bridge before we died last time. Oops, I downshifted. I just meant to hit the brakes. These are the brakes. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Okay. That sounds like I'm going to be a boat someday. No, that was the sound of impending death. You're going to die. Now you're dead. I didn't get a second. That guy likes to kill. He is not your friend. That is not your friendly Amazon package delivery guy. This is the UPS, I'm going to make you sign for it guy. Or a no package for you. All right. It's not bad. I like it. I mean, I've definitely played worse versions of Spy Hunter, that's for sure. Let's see. And so we had Spy Hunter, thumbs up. Championship Sprint or Super Sprint, which, by the way, on arcade games, I was going to say top 10. That's crazy. Top 20. But on the Game Boy Advance, it's a little tough to control, and it did seem like the car was made of explosives. Okay, let's go to the Game Boy directory. Let's see. Okay, so I just looked up a list of. That's a 2-player one. All right, this should be terrible controls. Let's see how this works out for us here. I have played Tony Hawk Pro Skater for many, many hours on the Game Boy Advance. It is a weird. I actually had an original of that for my Game Boy. Yeah, it's if you could get used to that Zaxxon 2.5 view or whatever. Okay. No, go back here. There we go. I don't like how fast those are moving on the menu. I'd like them to be moving slower because that tells me that this game is going to be fast and out of control. Oh. Hey, look at this. Okay, let's see. Are we diagonal controls? No, so down moves straight down. Well, this is always the argument, and there may be a way to configure it, right? But this is the argument, because like this game is isometric, right? Which means I have to move diagonally. With this, I'm using a PlayStation controller. So I'm having to hold diagonally on a D-pad, which is not the easiest thing to do. But some games will let you switch, like Qbert. You can have it where it's up, down, left, and right, and then you just kind of move your head. Just in your head, you think of that 3D space, right? Oh, get on there. I'll take that. Where are we going to generate there? Okay. I will say, and this may be something that's lost in translation through the emulator. But I will say when I hold diagonal, the game seems to get real jittery. And it's not very easy to do. Oh. Go on there, Wilbur. When I press like right, it's very fast. Or when I press down, it goes very fast. When I hold diagonal, it just kind of jitters like. Is there I don't see a menu or I'm hitting the other buttons. I don't see any way for a configuration. It just says press start. Some of these games, when you start them, they would have a a configuration like choose between these two control setups or something. Yeah, so like I said, when I hold it straight, it goes very fast. When I hold it diagonally like that, you can see it's just inching along and kind of juddering between the two directions. Like that's holding it all the way diagonal. So that may be something, like I said, that's something with the emulator is seeing the two directions and not quite translating that exactly right. Whereas if you're playing it on original hardware, it might. So if I alternate between like left and down, then I can move through the level very quickly. Just as you can see, not very accurately. Move. Bye-bye. Well, bye-bye is right. Yeah, not easy to do the diagonals on this because I'm not really that bad at Marble Madness. Trying to kind of walk it down, but that's not. You're not going to have enough time to do that. Then it's just not as accurate. I mean, this game looks great, and I'd say it sounds great. But controls leave a little something to be desired on that one. I'm not sure I would not sure I'd be thrilled if Santa brought me that one. I sure wish that it would just stay in this one directory where all my games are, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. Ooh, here we go. These are some bangers. Oh. When I think of music from the Caribbean, I think of Centipede, Rampart, and Warlords. What on earth? So what did I... Oh, I could have picked the different games there. This is the one I wanted to play the least. Breakout. All right. Well, let's see how the old... the color of the paddle. So this is a little bit of a Rob problem and not maybe a Game Boy problem. But for my particular eyes, the color of the paddle is very difficult to see. Yeah. So I think it might be playable for someone else. Wow, that's impressive for the uh, the letters that you pick. That's crazy. Okay, so I don't want to play that again. I wonder if there's a thing in the menu or maybe even a shortcut to reset the ROM. Let's see. I bet there's got to be one. Reset Control R. That's what I needed. Control R. I can tell you this. I remember my dad playing Breakout on the Atari VCS, the Atari 2600, when I was a kid. Using the paddle and just beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 you know, sitting in front of the living room TV. Okay. So, look at this. We got Warlords. Now, Warlords, I know the Game Boy Advanced does support this emulator. This is Virtual Boy Advance. Does support the multi-link, so I don't know if you could get multiple people, different controllers on one system. I don't really know. I haven't messed with this emulator much. This is the arcade port of Warlords. Had that dragon. Let's see. Yeah, so you've got multiplayer down here. All right, that's us up in the upper left. Oh, taking some hits. Can't tell if I could grab the fireballs or not. Maybe that was just an Atari thing that we used to do. Maybe I should just worry about blocking my little castle, which I don't seem to be doing a very good job of doing. I feel like, there we go. All right. So left and right moves your guy left and right. I mean, I'm holding right and left, or up and down. So you don't have to switch directions. You can literally just play this by moving left and right. So I do like that. The controls, I would say, do a pretty good job, really. I mean, any weirdness in my defense here is my game playing skills and not necessarily the controls. I wish I could blame it on the controls, but and then I just did the thing where I trapped it behind myself and blew up my own castle some. That's always fun. Warlords. I think I told this story on a podcast. Warlords is the only time that I saw my parents, my mom get up and walk out of the room because my dad blew up her castle. It was like being mean to her. And I believe it might have even led to a short. Oh, look, one man down. And it wasn't me. I wasn't first anyway. I'll probably be second, but yeah, I believe it led maybe to some silent treatment or there was some hard feelings involved in that. But that was 40 something years ago, and I think they all got over it. Except for they're divorced. So so maybe they didn't get over it. Maybe that was, oh, look at that, 2 men down, 1 left. Me and this guy. Wouldn't that be funny if that was in the divorce settlement? Like, well, also, he does not play asteroids nicely. Or asteroids warlords nicely. Did I win? Oh. I did. I won. I was the last man standing. Oh, and I'm going to be the first man out. Well, we're not going to let that happen. We got to end. We go, up. I won. I was the winner. I was the winner. Yeah, paddle games are never good. Now, this last game that's on here was available in 2 different flavors. There is a... Oh, this is Centipede. You know what? I saw the artwork for Breakout and thought that it was Rampart. There is Rampart on it, but it's on a different title or on a different cartridge. So this is a trackball game being played on a D-pad. Definitely going easy. Hopefully they've... Oh, man, the color of the flea is... The colors is... I mean, you know, you could never tell, like... Maybe the colors look different on an actual Game Boy screen. We'll start building our little path here, except for that dummy. Oh, boy. Whoop. None shall pass. That went great. Did you see how I manhandled that guy? Okay, for playing with a D-pad, I'm pretty happy how things are going. Oh, Centipede, you can't run away. You can't run away. Come on, man. Why did he start over there? No, I need you to be my right path guy. Oh boy. This guy we're going to take out on the way back up, I believe. Oh, one more round. That was a dive bomber. Couldn't get out of the way. Well, you're a wizard in this game, depending on which version you're playing. Because you're like a bear in one version, right? Like one version you're a bear with a magic wand, and one you're the wizard. And I would say this, I'm doing surprisingly good at this, and better than most versions of Centipede that I play. I'm not going to lie. I owned a Centipede cabinet, and I was not this good at that version of Centipede. Okay. This I could see myself playing. I mean, so, you know, everybody's got their own thing, like, you know, why would you own a Game Boy Advance or whatever? But, I mean, for me, it's going to the bathroom. So, I mean, like, could I see myself playing this in the bathroom? You bet. But with headphones. Because I don't need people coming over and being like, what are you doing over there getting a high score? Like, oh, I'm just playing Centipede. Don't you worry, buddy. Don't you worry about me. You hang out in your own stall. You answer your own questions. And then they open the stall, and spoiler, it is a giant centipede. And he says, "You can't run away." I'd like to get that thing out of the way, but I didn't have enough time. This is where it starts getting fun. I gotta clear out some of these areas down here. All these lower mushrooms will kill you, man. They say ABC, always be centipeding. I believe this is what the... Oh, it was crazy time. Okay, I'm pretty proud of this centipede thing. So from now on, when you tune into the streams, I'll say it's live, but I'm just going to be showing reruns of this. Although, if you'll notice, there's a direct correlation that the better my scores are, the less I'm talking, which is good for the high score leaderboard, bad for streams. I just show up on streams and I'm like, nobody talk. Nobody talk. I'm playing a game here. Got him. Yeah, it's a problem that I got centipedes in the home bathroom. Look at that needle I threaded. If somebody, if you can, you could go online and you could order me a trophy, a centipede trophy. And we could work out the details about where to have it shipped. But you could just say, have on there make it say greatest centipede player of all time. And then make sure you get the apostrophe in there. Because that'll be important. When Guinness comes and they're like, we want to make sure that it's you, we got to have it spelled right. So I don't know what the world's record is for centipede, but I feel like I'm slowly approaching it right now. So you might want to let everybody know that Alex is going for the record. That was a... oh, no. Last Starfighter reference. Hey, everybody! Alex is going for the record. I'm going to go tell all my neighbors right now. Go see how many people I can get come out of their houses. Clear up a little bit of this area. Oh, don't shoot the last one or the next to last one. If somebody could call my mom and get her on the stream, who said that I would never amount to anything, and that I would never be good at Centipede, that my fear of bugs would keep me from becoming the Centipede master that I knew I could be. Oh, maybe my mom is right. I'm so close to that high score. I mean, obviously that high score is not a real high score, but well, that didn't work so well. Did I get over 50,000? Yes. All right. Come on, get him. This is why I'm building a van for van life, just so I can go get some peace and quiet and practice playing Centipede. You know, for now, the world record, obviously. I mean, I've pretty much conquered the continental U.S. at this point. There's really no one that can hold a candle to my Centipede skills here. So now I've got to go abroad, start looking into international Centipede competitions, you know, obviously. It's a whole lifestyle now, really. They call me the human centipede. Oh, I ran right into him. I think if someone calls me the human centipede, that might be you might have a problem. Boom. Boom. And 3 booms. Hold on, I got a text here from text from a family member. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, there's fresh cookies on the bar. But no time for... I could smell them. Now that she said that, I could smell them. Okay, well, that was amazing. And this stream is now... I'm changing the name. It is just called Centipede, Cinestream. And it's a 24-hour Centipede stream. That's all we do now on this channel. Let's see what we got here. Konami. Let's see what this is. Let's pull this up. We are playing arcade ports on the Game Boy Advance. And this one is called the Konami Collector Series Arcade Advanced. Oh. You know, Drezu, I got a lot of... I bought a Game Boy Advance. I've probably told this story before, but I bought a... look at these games. Gyrus, Year Kung Fu. Oh, this is the crappy Year Kung Fu. This is the... is this the NES one? When my wife was pregnant with my son, they had to. She had to be induced, and so we knew what day we were going to the hospital. I knew what day that he was going to be born, and so the first thing I did was I went to Sam's. I got this duffel bag, and I bought like $50 worth of Rice Krispies treats and Pop-Tarts and protein bars, and it was all just kind of food because I didn't know if the hospital would have food. I don't know why I thought that they might not have food. And I put drinks and stuff in there too. And anyway, the other thing I did was I bought a Game Boy Advanced for myself as an early Christmas present. My son was born in December. And so because I thought, you know what? when your wife has a baby and you're in the hospital, there's just so much free time and there's absolutely nothing to do. So I would just be playing Game Boy all the time. And then the baby was born, and then my wife screamed at me a lot and said, "Help me with this baby!" And so I did not get to play as much Game Boy Advance as you might have expected that story to include. Hey, Hudson, one of Drazu's sons, is on the chat, and Hudson says, "What is better, Kit Kats or Whoppers candy?" Oh, that's a hard one. And Easter is right around the corner. So I'm hoping that the Easter Bunny brings me a little bit of each. That would be nice. Boy. Here's the thing. I love Whoppers because I love malt. I like having malts. And my dad, when I was a kid, would have a jar of malt, like powdered malt. And we would make shakes with ice cream, and then he would scoop the malt in there. So we would have... so we loved Whoppers. My dad loved Whoppers. And so I love malt and I love Whoppers. The only thing is every now and then you get that one little Whopper, like the reject Whopper, and it's like hard and crunchy or hollow, and then you're like, ugh, and then I'm very sad. But the other thing I'll say is that out in my movie room, which is not air conditioned all the time, is I had Whoppers out there, and then I go out there and I open the Whoppers, and then I just have a brick of Whoppers. There's like one giant Whopper candy bar that's all melted and stuck together. And so that's no good. I don't know that Kit Kats would fare any better out there in the heat, but I love me a Kit Kat too. I think the best solution is to just make a sandwich and put bread, a layer of Whoppers, and then a layer of Kit Kats, and then another piece of bread. And then everybody's happy. And you got your Whoppers and your Kit Kats. I was going to say, even at Halloween, you get the little Kit Kats that are good, but we also get the little things that have like 2 or 3 Whoppers, and then you just hold it there and you squeeze one in, and they go plop, 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 and you get all 3 Whoppers in your mouth at the same time. But that's a tough call. You picked 2 of my favorite candies. I will say that. Of my those 2 bottle caps are on the list. I like Mike and Ike's, and then I also like the hot cinnamon ones, which are, they're just like Mike and Ike's, but they're hot cinnamon. All right, what do we got here? We got Frogger, Scramble, Time Pilot. Now, is this Gyros or Gyros? So I always get corrected when I say gyro. So maybe this is Gyros. I hear in the music, you're getting little bits of a lot of the different theme songs. Ooh, Russian Attack is on here. Now, this would be a good cartridge, man. If you just... Yeah, Hot Tamales. Those are the ones. So far, if I were... you're a kid and you just get one cartridge, this is not a bad cartridge to have. Especially if these are good versions. Let's find out. Okay. 1 player, single game pack versus multi... Oh, okay. No, we went single player. Single pack. Okay. I don't like that music already. Oh, and the... So they didn't license the music? Gotta get my girlfriend on my back there. So what would be better if it scrolled? I don't love the scroll. But, I don't know. Oh, right into the wall. Okay, now that music's the same. But it's like the actual song, they didn't get licensed or something. Right in the water. All right, let's get a good run going here. Come on now. Frogger's not that hard. All right, let's get my girlfriend in here. Get in there. And tonight I'm bringing home dinner. We're having frog legs. I hope it's no one we know. Oh, trickery. He's going way over here. Time was almost up. I was trying to line them all up one at a time, but it's a little hard to track where you are. Just because the screen jumps up and down. All right, I'm going one more. How did they not license do? But you can do that one. I was trying to be a smarty and go all the way across. Like that. Oh, I was trying to get back off it. All right, we're going to try one more. I was just trying to go fast. Okay, all right, one more. The Yar Kung Fu on this, I think, is that the same one that's on the NES? Is that where it came from? I know that when I got the Konami stick, like the standalone Jack Specific or what, I don't know if it was Jack Specific brand, but it was Konami. And it had that Yar Kung Fu on it, and I was so upset. I was like, what is this crud? Yar crap foo. Ah, man. It is, there's something about the screen being so large here in front of you that's different than an actual Game Boy. It makes it just a little bit harder to do things quickly. Oh, did you see that? I missed the fly. All right. We'll just reset. All right. I'll play Scramble. Everybody knows I hate Scramble. Scramble's a game that I don't love, and that I owned an arcade cabinet of, and then I sold it, and then I bought it again. Because that's how much I hated it. So, you probably know how to play Scramble, but you fly on this dumb-looking mountain, and you shoot missiles, and you avoid getting shot by missiles. And you can shoot, you can also drop bombs, and you also have a fuel meter that's going. And the way to get fuel is to drop bombs on fuel tanks. And it also has a great soundtrack, as you can hear, which is made even better when you're wearing headphones. It's like just being electrocuted constantly in your eardrum. Oh, missed it. Better find some fuel. No, no, no. Why would you build a spaceship that could hold 20 seconds worth of fuel? And how are you refueling by blowing up the fuel? These are many questions. Just a few of the logistic problems of outer space travel. Also, as you'll see, the game does a really good job of later putting missiles right by the fuel tanks. So that way you try to drop you drop a bomb to get your fuel, and then a missile comes up and intercepts your bomb. Yeah, there's all kinds of Scramble hacks there. I'm sure there was a Pac-Man version on Scramble. There was all right, we're gonna go with Gyrus because I know Gyrus the arcade game, so let's compare Gyrus to looks at least as good as the NES version. Let's see how it sounds. Well, somebody forgot how the patterns go. I can tell you we got some great stereo sound. Yeah, so bad. Oh, guess who didn't dodge? Guess who didn't dodge twice? That's not terrible control on a D-pad, I would say. You know, it has that weird thing where you're controlling something that's in a circle. So, you know, you could either move up, down. I mean, down here we're left and right. Oh, that guy shouldn't have got me. All right, let's give it one more go around here. For those of you that don't watch the show using headphones, it really does have some pretty good stereo sound. I keep forgetting it's down left. It's not up here. It's down right, down left. That seemed like a good place not to be. First level's not too hard. No. It had a rotating joystick thing. Oh. All right, we got who we could get. Now we could pick off a few from far away. Wait for this thing to form. Little force field guy. Get our dual shots lined up. And there we go. Boy, I sure wish I remember how this went. That was terrible. Oh, I should have stayed there. That was really bad. Ay, ay, ay. Now, this is when they really start shooting at you in their little waves. You gotta always keep moving. Ran right into him. The problem is, if you don't, the more that you let get by, the more you're going to have to deal with. Like now. Oh, got me from afar. All right, that's good. I like that. That's good. All right, I like that sound too. That's all right. Gyrus for the Gameboy Advance. A-OK in my book. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to have to go try this. This shouldn't even qualify as ER Kung Fu. This is ER something else. I'm just not a fan of this version. Oh, boy. Oh! Wait a minute. Have I been tricked? What the heck? That's the world's greatest game. Oh, the controls are not. Oh, boy. Don't love the sound. Why would this be so hard to emulate? That sounds good. All right. I don't know what's going on here a little bit more. Boy, I'm not doing so good. I'm not oolong for this earth. Come on. Yeah. All right. Oof. Man. Definitely harder than the Commodore version or the arcade version, to be honest with you. Well, they that high pitch is when you're like about to die or they're about to die. Oh, I thought I was almost perfect. Shashin. I didn't think that'd work on this version. I will say that it seems like they've eliminated a lot of the cheap stuff that works on the on both the arcade and the Commodore version. Which is too bad for me. Who will win? Woo! Oh, you're hearing the button clicks? All right. Pull in the arcade can pin you down and then that's it. Like that. It kind of seems like Pole is taking 2 hits at a time. That went terrible. Now I will fight the pole and he will kill me quickly. Station. All right. Man. Pole's nasty. Pole not playing around in this version. Wow. No kidding, man. All right, let's see what we had at the end of this. I forgot what the last one was. I've got a couple other I wanted to try here. Yeah, well, we'll try one quick round of Russian attack because how can you not? We're right here. This is a game that rewards memorization. And if you thought the last game had an annoying soundtrack, wait till you hear a Russian attack. Oh, well, that's annoying. Sergeant Bob, we are sending you in to take on 1 million Russians, and we have given you a small knife. Can I have a larger knife, sir? No, you may not. Can I have any kind of firearm? No, you may not. You can have this bread knife. Good luck. Use this bread knife to spread pain upon all your enemies. Can I have a second soldier to go with me? No, you may not. Yes, I have seen the bad lip reading on Star Wars. I like all those little Star Wars things that they do. The Yoda song that they, we would always joke about coconuts. Okay. Let's get one more in here. Ooh, now we got Namco. We got Pac-Man. Oh, wait a minute. Now, it ain't going to be the same. Oh, yeah. Doot, 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 doot. Come on. Boy, a game of skill and excitement. Oh, you know what? That almost sounds like a sampled loop. There's like a hiss in there. Hold on. It's almost like that's a sampled loop from the arcade game. Surely they didn't do that. Okay. Oh, I'm hitting. What is that button? So that button Okay, that's a brake. So that has to be... Am I throwing? Okay, that's brake. I just said that. And it's not... Oh, is it the other... Is it R1? I don't understand. Oh, it's using this other button. It's using a button I haven't used before in the controller. Okay. All right, well. Okay. All right, I got the controls. Interesting. Oops, I was looking at the chat. All right. So up and down don't do the brakes or the speed. Okay, so these two buttons speed you up and slow you down. I get it now. Interesting. What a strange way to control the game. I mean, it doesn't matter if I agree with it. So on this controller, on a PlayStation type controller, triangle speeds up, the red circle slows you down, but left and right steer, and then X at the bottom throws newspapers. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, now we've got the controls. Oops. Boy, it's a very jerky screen update, and it's hard to control where you're going to be. This one might be a little bit easier with original hardware. I don't know. Yeah, there's just like a weird hiss right when it's playing that music. I wonder if that's sampled. So your reflex is to pull back to slow down. That's the problem. Okay, no excuse for that. That one wasn't a controller issue. I'm interested to see. I would be interested to see how. Oh boy. To see how these controls map on a real Game Boy. The screen is such a smaller thing that you have very little area to work with. I'm not saying it's a bad port. I'm saying that what's weird is normally when you get a port, sometimes they play the same, but they don't look as good. This one looks really good, but it just doesn't play the same. That's weird. That's a weird port. We'll try the other game on this cartridge, then we'll try one more cartridge, and then we will... boy, there's enough where we could do a whole nother episode just of arcade ports on the GBA. Okay. Tough to go wrong with this game. I'm assuming they can't mangle this. Okay. Okay, so we've just got punch and jump. Makes sense. Yeah, shouldn't have grabbed that. And some ports of Rampage have less things going on, which is better for you. Less helicopters and things, because it means you can live longer, right? Come here, you. Oh, Too hot. It's weird that this game is really dark. Do you see that? Do you see how dark this game is? Also, I will just say this. The buildings crumble very quickly. Like normally... Oh, come here. Like, you don't have to damage them as much as in other ports. Interesting. Why do I keep eating the flamethrower guy? Stupid. I mean, and a lot of times in the arcade version, you have to destroy a building like you could do all the vertical ones, and you still have to do up and down punches. Does that make sense? But on this one, if you just start going down, about halfway down, the building's already in breaking up, so it's much easier in that sense. Although I do hear my own heartbeat at this point, which tells me that things aren't going great. Yeah, it's very, very dense. I wonder if it's like a video, some sort of video mode. Oh no. Oh, it let me continue. I was just going to let it go. Holy cow, that was a jump. Anybody like the new King Kong movies and the new King Kong versus Godzilla movie? I thought the new King Kong versus Godzilla was okay. That building just blew up on its own over there. Yeah. You always gotta, if your friend doesn't have enough quarters to continue, you gotta give them the works. Yeah, this isn't terrible, you know. And they probably made it a little bit easier because mostly you're going to be playing one player too, so. Don't grab the electrical outlet. Well, this isn't a bad port. I don't know how... It looks really good, except for the fact that it's so dim. Again, I wonder if that's something that is on the original hardware, or if that's just something we get in this version, you know? Yeah. Oh, no. I hear my heartbeat again. Yeah, this isn't bad. This isn't terrible. I think what we'll do, we're gonna do some encoder ring stuff, but I think what we'll do is we'll try one more. We'll do one more of these, and then we'll wrap it up, and then maybe we'll do a different a different stream for encoder ring. Let's see what we got here. All right, we could do Midway's greatest arcade hits. We could do Namco Museum, Sega Arcade Gallery, or I think I know what we're gonna do. Okay. Let's see if we can find this. I would say that the Game Boy Advance is more capable of pulling off arcade ports than I thought. I don't think it's probably as good as the Sega Genesis was in many of the ones that we tried, but it's definitely better than a lot of systems. Oh, now this says arcade ports, but those look like Nintendo games. Three games I am not good at or that I would really probably want to play. To be perfectly honest. I mean, Bionic Commando's okay. The Daughter of the Mayor. Pretty low level to be sending in. Okay. All right. We got Cody, Guy, and Hagar. Or Hagar. I believe we have 2 buttons at our disposal. We got a punch and a jump. And a pause. Do I love it? No, I don't love it. It's like Double Dragon with children. Do I have different attacks? No. I mean, it's very reminiscent of Double Dragon. Oh. Tricked you. Ha ha! How about you? It's nothing terrible about this game. It's just boring. I mean, if that's Hate to say it that way. Like, it seems like you really only have one attack, you know. I think these guys are going to kill me here. Yeah. Not a huge fan of the music. That guy just showed up, punched me in the nose. Yeah, I would not put this in my top 10 favorite games. Oh, Jesus. I wish I'd have known that was coming. I like how I'm in a city where there's no possible way anybody of these people would be my friends. Like, hey, maybe there's a guy, maybe there's one guy I don't have to fight. Nope. No, you're going to fight them all. You're in a bad... That's when you know you're not welcome in a city, when everybody in the city wants to fight you. Oh, hey, wait a minute now. I found the secret move. I didn't consider both buttons. Oh. Well, now I'm in somewhere else. Hey. I am Thrasher. The magazine? Okay. Rules of this city. Bow down before me. Absolutely. I am superior. Maybe you are stronger than you look. Why don't you join us? Yes. I don't believe you. You're too much of a mama's boy. Well, come on. So I gotta fight him anyway? I was trying to be a bad guy. I mean, I'm literally the only good guy in a city of bad guys. I was perfectly willing to flip sides. There's not really a side. It's just me and a dude. And I subscribe to Thrasher. Is there a limited amount of times I can do that move? Because that seems to be a pretty easy way to kill this dude. Why did I get greedy? Why did I get greedy? I should just kept doing that move. Oh. I think you're right. How about I just beat him the old-fashioned way? With a kiss from my fist! Oh, that didn't work. And then I think I killed myself when doing the move. Yeah, this is not really the collection I'd want to end on, to be honest with you. Let's go to something a little bit more classic. Let's find one last one. Something better. What have we got on here? Let's do... Let me find more one I was looking at. Alright, how about... I don't know how many games are on this, but that's alright. We'll find out. That's true. Hey, Joey. Yeah, I mean, it's all, you know. I used to say Star Wars is a movie about an entire government of people following the rules when a bunch of mean guys in X-Wing fighters came in and blew up their home base. I don't think I came up. I'm not the only person that ever came up with that theory. Okay. Oh, so this is Midway. I was like a newer Midway. We got Joust, we got Robotron, we got Sinistar, Defender. I'm guessing these have all been updated somehow to play with the Gameboy Advance controller. I'm just trying controls here real quick. So this is literally a one button thing. Do you shoot it all four directions at once, or just the way you're headed? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think it's literally just the way you're pointing. That'll make Robotron super hard. That'll take Robotron from being one of the easier games. Sarcasm there. Okay, but it does, you don't have to hold it in that direction. You can just like point down and you'll keep shooting down. Okay, stay away. Oh, watch out. Watch out. Oh, get away. Well, they certainly don't make it easy, I'll give you that. Or particularly fun to listen to. Ay, ay, ay. All right, well, that's a rough one. Yeah, the Atari 78 version of Joust is pretty good. Let's go see what this one looks like. I mean, right off the bat, I never love Joust when it's presented on a horizontal screen, you know. It always kind of messes up the... Oh, it kind of flies kind of funky. You can always tell when the physics of Joust are a little different. Yeah, it's a little... Okay, I thought I had that. Oh, and he remounted pretty quickly too. Yeah, this is not. I wouldn't say this is my favorite version of Joust. Boy, do these eggs hatch fast. Was that the pterodactyl already? Well, that's fine. They also move, they flap very, very quickly. I'm coming for you. You got about 5 seconds before the egg hatches, so got to get on that. You got to put that on your to-do list pretty quick. I don't see a survival. Yeah, just come get me. I give up. I quit. Ha ha! Oh no, that didn't work. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, that guy got me. Yeah, the physics are just off. You know, like I said, when you played enough of a game, and the physics are off just enough where you can feel it. You know, and so it's not quite. Is it playable and fun? Sure, but it's just off, just a little bit, off just a little. And let's go. Let's see what else we have. Sinistar. I'll try Defender, and then we'll wrap stuff up here. I love a good game of Dig Dug. I love me some Dig Dug. You know, we'll do 1010. Are you still around? Let me see if 1010 is still in the chat. He's still in the chat. We will. I'll end the normal stream here in a second, and then I will pull up Ecoda Ring. Just for those of you that have listened, or if you haven't listened to the latest episode of You Don't Know Flack. Oh, shot the wrong dude. Difficult to control, I would say, would be my first comment. Just a little squirrely. And trust me, I am not a Defender purist. I'm not one of those guys that says, you know, give me 17 buttons or give me death. But let's try this one more time. Williams, man, in the early days of arcade stuff, Williams had great sound. You know, that sound, that... I mean, I remember being scared of Williams games as a kid. Got me one. Yes, yes. Lost a human and a life at the same time. Oh, I see. Oh, there's a guy there. All right. Everybody's safe on my planet. Dang. Hard in the arcades, hard on the Game Boy Advance. So, I'll tell you what, we are going to wrap this up, and I'll end the recording, and then we'll play around with the Ecoda Ring for just a couple of minutes. So, what did we do tonight? Well, we played some arcade games on the Game Boy Advance. And the reason I'm wanting to do that is because, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I just got this Retroid 3B Plus or 3 Plus. So I'm looking forward to putting some different games, ROMs, all the stuff on there, and giving this a run through. And I've got a pretty special stream planned for next week, for next Wednesday. That could involve the Retroid. It's going to involve. It'll be interesting. It'll either you should tune in because it'll either be great or things will go terribly wrong. And either way, that will be worth watching. So, everybody, Boat Fest is coming up. If you don't have your tickets for Boat Fest, go to boatfest.info, and tickets are going fast. I'll be there. Amigo Aaron will be there. Steel Rat will be there. Petzel will surely be there. Adam will be there. Drazul is hopefully going to be there. So, it'll be just like this. It's just a room full of guys like me playing games, and everybody bringing their own hardware and bringing, last time 48K ROM brought CPC machines. I've never seen a CPC computer or console in person before. Never seen one. And he was like, oh yeah, here's mine. Here's other ones. The way that I explain it to people is I say, probably the rarest console I own is a Amiga CD32 as far as consoles go. It's an NTSC one, which makes it a little more rare. And I brought that because I thought it would be rare, and it was one of 3 that was in the room of about 30 people. So there's all kinds of stuff. Even if you think, well, I've played video games, I've played arcade games and stuff like that. There's always stuff to do there. So if you like playing this old stuff, and if you get in touch with the guys, you can bring stuff, and they'll make tables available. But you don't have to bring anything. You could just buy your ticket, come on in and play games and enjoy the computers and the camaraderie. And it's going to be upstairs from an Irish bar. So I would expect everybody to be in good spirits. No pun intended. So I just released a new episode of You Don't Know Flack, which, if you don't know, is one of my podcasts. I got an episode of Sprite Castle that will be coming out probably Sunday, maybe Monday would be my guess. And I'm hoping to get a new Big Rob's Van video out on Friday or possibly Saturday. So if you want to check out my podcast, go to podcast.robohara.com. If you want to see the van stuff, you could go to YouTube. You can go to bigrobsvan.com. I need to put posts there that will link to the YouTube videos, but Big Rob's Van is on YouTube. Or you go to YouTube and go look up Rob O'Hara, and you'll see Randall Rob episodes. There's all kinds of stuff going on. The easiest way to keep track of everything is to join the Patreon. And go to patreon.com/Rob O'Hara, and I post updates and links to every single thing that we do. Or you can follow a lot of stuff on the Discord channel. So if you support my show or the Amigos or any of the shows that are on the network through Patreon, I think it's $4 a month will get you access to the Amigos Discord server, where a lot of all these people are all hang out and chat. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir because I think most of the people that are here are also on the Discord. So anybody. Anyway, that's it for me. And I will see everybody here at 7 p.m. Central next Wednesday for something extra special. Talk to you soon.